And coming through turns number 3 and 4 on the starter stand, there is the green flag. We are underway. Steve Park waves it, and we're off, and Patrick Emmerling takes off to the top spot, first time down the back straightaway.
Here comes Justin Bonsignore as he slides into the second spot as Tommy Catalano gets to the inside of Austin Beers. Catalano looks to make the move and come to the third spot.
Will Justin Bonsignore just ride and just sit in second spot and let the race come to him? Or is it going to be a situation where he wants to set the pace? He tried to the inside of Patrick Emmerling, and it looks like his strong suit is pulling off of turn number 2. But so far stays about a car length off the back bumper. He's getting off the corner a lot better than the Emmerling car right now, Steve.
I think Bonsignore will sit here early, try to see where his car is good. We got a caution.
Stephen Comstock got a little loose and collected a couple of race cars. One of them being Eric Goodale, and the number 68, one of our local competitors, gets involved as well.
Matthew Brody and Chris Young involved.
And Matt Hirschman nearly got a piece of that. But Matt was smart to back it down, and he is not a fan of Riverhead Racetrack. This is definitely a love-hate situation when you talk to the number of drivers we have competing here this afternoon. You either love Riverhead or you hate Riverhead, and sometimes both in the same day.
Yeah, and for a guy like Matt Hirschman, who struggled here for many years, the last 2 or 3 times he's been here, he won the ISOP 300 last year to end our season here. But Matt Hirschman has become more accustomed to Riverhead Raceway, and keep an eye on him today, see what kind of ground he can make up as he makes his way to the front of the field.
Stephen Comstock running on the inside, trying to get his spot back. That's not going to happen. Looks like he broke loose coming off of turn number 2. It looks like we're going to the replay right here on Flo. And just missed it. A couple of cars collected behind him. So Patrick Emmerling, who started the season off with a win at New Smyrna. Now, if you look back at the 2024 campaign, Steve, Patrick really came on in the second half of the season. He picked up multiple wins, had a shot at the championship at Martinsville, and when you look at the number of points that he entered championship night by and the amount of points he had to make up, there was one glaring part where he had missed the opportunity to gain some points, and that was Richmond. He was in a wreck at Richmond. It cost him about 20 points or so. Without those 20 points, Emmerling would have really been in the thick of the championship battle last year. Now, rewind to the last race at Seekonk Speedway, he was going for a top 5 position, lost 11 positions as a result of the incident on the last lap, and you don't want to see history repeat itself. And I talked to Patrick about that today. I said, your one outlier last year was that wreck at Richmond, and it really cost you a lot in the point standings. Did you have that going through your mind after the event on Seekonk? And he said, it did cross my mind, but it's not anything. It's still too early in the year. I really can't let the rest of my season define that moment. So a scary moment where he went up in the air, coming to the checkered flag, was regulated to, I believe, 13th that day. And Patrick Emmerling back and strong in year number 2 with that race team. And he says they really didn't hit their stride until the midsummer of 2024. So by winning early in the year and having a strong run like this, they're already ahead of the game.
And for Emmerling to lose 11 spots or 22 points on the raceway, there are teams like the 51, like the 16, that just they don't miss. They don't have a bad race. The 46 car. All these teams. So for Emmerling, last year, that one race defined his entire season.
Let's go trackside to Jacqueline Drake.
Several competitors coming down pit road, one of them being the number 18 of Ken Hagee, who just had minor damage to the front of him that the team was able to repair and send him back out on the track. A little bit of shuffling happening right now in the field as they determine the lineup, and soon we'll be back to green.
Thank you, Jacqueline. As Patrick Emmerling continues, earlier, before we had this caution flag, we didn't really get a chance to complete the thought of this race could go one of two ways, Steve. It could go just green because these drivers, they've been here for a couple of days. They just want to go home. Many of these drivers have full-time jobs, and they want to start their gig on Monday morning. They don't want to get home at midnight. So the longer this race goes, the later they get home. And then there's the other side, which you're pent up all weekend.
Right,
you want to get out there and go.
Yeah, you want to go. But, Ray, I would say, I mean, okay, we had the Copsic incident, but for the most part, they had given each other plenty of space to start this event. Right now, they double the field up.
The Miller Lite salutes Steve Park 200 at Riverhead Raceway with Patrick Emmerling and Justin Bonsignore. Wheel to wheel, 12 laps in this event. Sean Houlihan waves the green, and we are underway.
Patrick Emmerling, car number 1, leads him down into turn number 1, and here comes Bonsignore to the outside. Good run for Tommy Catalano to the inside. Oh, around goes your point leader, Austin Beers.
That is the first time we have seen Austin Beers turn around like that this year. Caution flag is on the racetrack.
Left rear flat.
And for a driver that has completed all of the laps in 2025, he has run in to some big problems. He was smart to have the caution flag come out. He will definitely need a pit stop. To Steve's point, left rear flat on Austin Beers.
Austin Beers, your point leader coming into today's event. The first blemish on the season here right now. The question is, how does Austin Beers and his team handle it? 15 laps into a 200-lap event. Beers needs to be patient, take his time, and try to make his way back through this field.
And the pit road rule states you can change one tire per pit stop, per caution. And Austin Beers, you obviously know which one he's going to change when he does make his way around. Looks like the pits are still closed. Lineup is good, so this will be a quick caution. And all eyes on Austin Beers, who really sent it into turn number 3. And here comes the replay. So here they come off the corner. And Austin Beers just in his own groove.
Yeah, he's already in trouble out of turn 2, it looks like.
Yeah, it didn't.
Watch how he, right there, bobbles. And he's already in it's already flat.
Good point. He did have a left rear go down because Matt Hirschman, boy, it's been a hairy couple of laps for Matt Hirschman. He's been behind everything, but fortunately he hasn't been in it. And Austin Beers, we said it was uncharacteristic. That's the reason why.
Let's go to pit road with Jacqueline Drake.
You'll see the team right here working hard on the points leader, the 64 of Austin Beers, as they replace that flat left rear tire. Overall, no other further damage to Austin's cars will send him back out onto the track.
Thank you, Jacqueline. As he sits on the end of pit road, he will not lose a lap. Again, completing all of the laps this year and came into this race as the point leader. Austin Beers, at times, and by his own admission, has given up race wins because he's just a nice guy. He said, I don't drive over my head, and sometimes that gets me in a little bit of trouble when it comes to the stats. I mean, yes, he'll get the top 5, and he gets the good points day, but he doesn't get the trophy. And I asked him what would have to change, and he didn't really have an answer. I think Austin Beers wants to continue to be Austin Beers, and you got to love that for a driver at his age, where there are so many others who go for the instant gratification of moving somebody out of the way just so you can get a spot or just so you can get a win. He takes an old school approach, and I think a lot of it has to do with his family history here in Modified.
I also feel he wants you to race him the way he races you. And you don't see him in a lot of wrestling matches per se.
Excellent point. We have a great youth movement in the Modified Series, as we'll continue to talk about that as the afternoon continues. Green flag is out, and Patrick Emmerling gets another great run, but here comes Justin Bonsignore looking to the outside.
Bonsignore with a good run to the top side of the raceway, but Emmerling able to hold him off. Here he comes again to the outside. Good run for Patrick Emmerling, but here comes Bonsignore.
And true to his word on pit road, give Catalano give Tommy Catalano a good qualifying position, and he's going to keep it. Right now he's going to battle Ron Silk on the outside, and Silk, talk about Riverhead being a two-groove racetrack this afternoon. Absolutely for car number 16.
Ron Silk in the car number 16 comes to the outside, and he'll bring that thing to the second spot.
Ron Silk, the fastest race car on the track, just drove around two of the fastest cars in modified racing this afternoon in consecutive laps, and now he chases down his rival, Justin Bonsignore.
I think the two of them will settle in here for a few laps at least. Try and pull away from the field that's behind them.
And it's interesting to watch these two drivers battle race in, race out. And for those who have, watched these guys year in and year out, you're like, well, what's going to happen this week? You know that the cream's always going to rise to the top. And it has done that again this afternoon. Further on back, you have Patrick Emmerling, who has his hands full with Tommy Catalano in car number 54. Then there's the number 46 of Craig Lutz, Matt Hirschman, letting the race come to him. A couple of drivers who really need to have a good run. If you look further on back, you have Kyle Bonsignore running the outside, and Bonsignore has had such a tough start to the season, but probably the most chipper driver who has had so many issues this year. And I asked him, what keeps him so happy? He said, we've had speed. If we didn't have speed, the drives home would be a lot longer. Yes, they're frustrating, but we know eventually things are going to turn around. He's got Trevor Catalano to his inside. The 22 and the 56 run side by side, back into turn number 1.
Ron Silk just made a bumper shot to the 51 of Justin Bonsignore, and you can see the left rear of the car all pushed in as Silk tried to make a run underneath him out of turn number 4, and they made contact. So right now, Ron Silk to the back bumper of Justin Bonsignore.
Ronnie Silk has won 3 of the last 4 events, and I think running with a different mentality this year. He's a former champion. He's a 2-time champion. He doesn't have the weight of the points resting on his shoulders this year. And speaking of shoulders, he has raised his arms high in victory lane multiple times across multiple series this year. And I think that has been a weight off his shoulders, and now he drives around Justin Bonsignore, new leader, car 16.
Ron Silk, car number 16 to the race lead. Justin Bonsignore sits second. Third is Patrick Emmerling. Fourth, Tommy Catalano. And fifth is Craig Lutz.
And Steve, look how far he is pulled ahead. Just in the last couple of laps, he's already put about 4 car lengths. Make that 3 in his Riverhead after all.
As you noted earlier, he was the fastest car on the raceway. He continues to do so as he goes to the outside and passes Justin Bonsignore.
And I think he's the only guy running the outside right now. If you scan throughout the throughout the field, you don't see many drivers going to the outside. Stephen Kopsick to the inside of Kyle Bonsignore, and then there's Luke Baldwin to the inside further on back. That's a good battle further on in the pack, just outside of the top 10. That's the best battle on the racetrack. We'll watch that one in turn number 1.
Bonsignore and Kopsick make contact. We'll both get back underway.
It's been an interesting afternoon for Stephen Kopsick, who came into this race having not qualified inside the top 20, despite the fact that he's one of the hottest drivers in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. And I think that's a changing of the guard starting to happen. You see the youth movement between 19-year-old Luke Baldwin and Kopsick, in his 20s. And you have Austin Beers as well. Your point leader is under the age of 25. For so many years, it was Ron Silk, it was Justin Bonsignore, and it were other drivers of that era. And the era seems to be changing rapidly here at 25.
And here comes Tommy Catalano to the inside of car number 1, Patrick Emmerling. Lap car in front of him, Gary McDonald. They have to go up the raceway. And that opens the door, and Emmerling gets shuffled back as he gets passed by
don't know if there's something amiss on that number 1, the Fleetworks ride, or if it's just that he's caught in the second groove and nobody can run there with the exception of Ron Silk today. Now he comes back alive, so it looks like the car's full under power. Now Tyler Ripkema ahead of him as they go around the lap to number 26. Oh, he drifted wide last time. If there's nothing wrong with the car, I would be a bit surprised if he didn't at least come in to adjust it. for the next during the next caution flag.
49 laps down, this time by for Ron Silk and Justin Bonsignore. Then about a straightaway back to your third place car, Tommy Catalano. Craig Lutz runs fourth, fifth is Matt Hirschman, sixth, Roger Turbin. Seventh is Dylan Slepian, eighth, Tyler Ripkema, ninth, Trevor Catalano, and 10th is now Patrick Emerling.
You have Catalano running solidly inside the top 10. Came off a fourth place run last time out of Riverhead. Really does like this racetrack where he can put the hammer down. He said, even though last time out we ran at Seekonk and it's a quarter-mile facility, and the next facility that the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour goes to is also a quarter-mile track at White Mountain Motorsports Park. Three distinctly different racetracks, and if he had to choose one of the three that he liked the most that suited his style, it would be Riverhead, because you can really mash the gas. With Seekonk, you're just turning. It's like a giant circle. This one, you actually have a straightaway, and it's really working out for Catalano, who sits inside the top three right now. 46 of Craig Lutz rides right behind him.
And right now, Ronnie Silk starting to pull away from Justin Bonsignore. He's got about three-quarters of a straightaway lead on Bonsignore in car number 16. And he's starting to lap some really good race cars.
It's Ron Silk continuing to pace this race, followed by Justin Bonsignore. And speaking to him earlier this morning on what Father's Day means to him. It's a special Father's Day for Justin. It's not the first one that he celebrated as a father, but it's the first one that his family has celebrated at the racetrack in his backyard. So celebrating Father's Day here in Riverhead, and you may have heard the story on how Justin himself delivered their latest baby in a McDonald's parking lot back in February. He said it was quite the adrenaline rush, and if they have baby number 3, he definitely wants his wife to listen a little closer to what he may suggest. Because he wanted them to go to the hospital earlier. She said no. And then in the middle of the night, they ended up delivering the baby. And it did make national news. But Justin Bonsignore just wants to get the, I wouldn't say the monkey off his back, just wants to get the 11 off his back. And by 11, I don't mean a race car number. I mean 11 wins. And what a Cadillac problem that is, Steve, to have 11 wins at a track and wanting to get rid of that number just to put yourself in the lead of the winningest NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour driver of all time over Mikey Winitsko. At this point in his career, his stats are really starting to add up, with number 2 on the list of all-time winners, with 4 championships, now potentially with 12 wins today, although he's going to have to get by Ron Silk if he's going to do that, and it looks like Silk is the class of the field. He's really in a very interesting stat-building portion of his career.
And Ron Silk right now has really checked out on Justin Bonsignore. He's lapping some good cars as he just goes around Chris Young on the outside. He's also lapped Luke Baldwin, Eric Goodale, Matthew Brody.
You talk about guys like Luke Baldwin and Eric Goodale. Now, those 2 race cars, significance here at Riverhead Raceway for different reasons. Of course, the iconic paint scheme made popular by Luke's grandfather, Tommy Baldwin, who you used to spot for, and those were great, interesting stories. And then you got a guy like Eric Goodale, and Steve, you have a long history here at Riverhead Raceway. Talk about the times that you spent with Eric Goodale and watching him develop as a driver over the course of his career.
We used to have a Charger division here at Riverhead Raceway, and that's where Eric Goodale got his start. He ran in the Charger cars. He did an excellent job, and then went from the Charger cars to run SK Modifieds at Stafford and Thompson, and then progressed. His brother, Kevin, would run a tour-type modified tour car, and then Kevin decided
accomplishments. He's now one of the 40 best. Though the second wave of the Whelen 40 list came out earlier this week, and of course Steve Parks on that list, and Mike Iwanitsko also on that list, Charlie Jazombek as well. And the common thread with a lot of those drivers is one thing:
they're from Long Island here. They got their start here, and we actually called them the Long Island Gang. They would leave off Long Island and go to Connecticut, go to Virginia, go to New Hampshire. Oh, we got a problem here as Steven Kopsick about to get lapped, and Austin Beers made contact.
It was a very tense moment last time in turn number 4. Austin Beers having an uncharacteristic race. He's been involved in a couple of near incidents, one a full incident when his tire went down the back straightaway. And that's great heads-up driving, too, to be able to pull to the inside to spin, not collect anybody in the process. That's great heads-up driving by Austin Beers. And at the same time, he wants to get back on the lead lap. He is trapped behind Ronnie Silk right now. Steven Kopsick, the last driver on the lead lap. Now, if you would have told me at the beginning of this race, if Beers would be down one lap and Kopsick would be nearly down a lap, 75 laps into this race, certainly would have fact-checked you on that one, and I would have been wrong, because this race has been nothing but Ron Silk since about lap number 12.
Ronnie Silk, car number 16, continues to lead the way. Justin Bonsignore is second. All the way back to third is Tommy Catalano. Then Lutz about to get a challenge to the inside from Matt Hirschman. Hirschman, in the Alan Deering-owned number 60, comes to the fourth spot.
And he's had a very patient race. That's one thing I've seen out of him the last couple of years. One of the most methodical drivers in a lot of different classes. Matt Hirschman would be by far the most methodical driver in the field. But then you have a guy like Ron Silk. And then you have Justin Bonsignore, who are equally strategic. They are very in tune with everything that's going on their race car, in communication with their pit crew, and are aware of everything that's going on the racetrack at the moment. So he's not heads and tails above everybody else, but Matt Hirschman certainly in that conversation. Right behind him, Craig Lutz, who had led the points earlier in the season, had an off week, and that's what they're trying to avoid. This car, the 46 car, has had tons of speed for the last couple of years, but it was all about putting it together, putting a full race together for the number 46. They finally did that at North Wilkesboro. Got to ride the elevator. He said it was a career moment. And even though Craig Lutz is not a human father, he's a proud dog father on Father's Day. And he and his fiancée celebrating today with their dog at home. Well, actually, Craig's in the car, but the dog's watching.
How good is Ron Silk? He just lapped the 9th place car of Roger Turbish. Matt Hirschman now to the inside of Catalano. Hirschman will come to the third spot.
Yeah, don't sleep on Matt Hirschman. He has not burned up his race car, and we talked about the race coming to him a few times throughout this event, and that's certainly from experience. He's been out here for decades. He knows the drill. But there have been a few times in recent history where at other racetracks he would burn up his race car a little bit. It was necessary at the time, but that took him out of contention for a win. And there was a race at Monadnock that certainly comes to mind from last year, where he burned up through the field but really couldn't do anything and faded late. It cost him the victory, but this time slowly picking off Craig Lutz and then over Tommy Catalano, and now, as you said, Steve, sitting pretty in third spot. One driver, Tyler Barry, had some problems right behind him in the 59. He had a nightmare qualifying run, one of the slowest out there, which surprised me as he came off a career day at Seacon just a couple of weeks back, finishing in 7th. Young driver having a great run, but not a great day this afternoon, as the 59 looks like he's out of shape and running on the inside of the racetrack.
Ron Silk continues to set the pace here. 93 laps into this event. Justin Bonsignore runs second. Now to third, and car number 60 is Matt Hirschman. Fourth is Tommy Catalano. Fifth, Craig Lutz. Sixth is Tyler Ripkema. Seventh, Catalano. Eighth is Patrick Emmerling. Ninth, Austin Beers. And 10th, Steven Kopsick.
Focus in on the number 3, Old Blue, in turn number 2 for Tyler Ripkema. Now, there's a driver that really needs a good run. If there's one driver on this tour that could just use a solid get out of the racetrack with a great finish, something to hang their heads high on, it would be the number 3. They've had an up and down relationship with Ripkema, and he's had just by his own admission, a couple of things slide out of their hands, just as he would put it, just stupid stuff happened this year. And really just, if they didn't have the speed, then they mentally would be out of it too. But he's just looking for a race to come to him, and that's what Ripken is seeing so far. It's nice to see car number 3 up inside the top 10.
Ron Silk continues to put on a show as he just lapped Trevor Catalano, who runs 8th. Halfway this time by for Ron Silk.
Thought for a second that the 22 was on the lead lap in Kyle Bonsignore, but that's not the case. He's 1 lap in arrears and riding right now on the inside of car number 88. That's a battle for position. Further on up ahead, though, you notice that Justin Bonsignore in car number 51 trying to get by Steven Kopsik, and this could be a teaching moment for Kopsik as he hasn't run the Tour full time. He's had a lot of things go his way this year, and now it's an event where he's got a fast race car, but due to just the situation, he's found himself 1 lap down. He's got to take the race that's being given to him, and if he can get out of here with a good solid top 10 finish, it's going to be a victory for Kopsik, who's now a lap down, and if he's smart, he rides behind Justin Bonsignore and learns from one of the best. He literally is getting a free education now between either Ron Silk or Justin Bonsignore, where they have, let's see, 14 wins between the two drivers, between Ron Silk and Bonsignore. And you had said earlier, Steve, where this race or this racetrack seems to give people who get on a roll a good fair shake. For example, Mikey Winitsko back in the day, Justin Bonsignore a few years ago, and now it looks like Ron Silk's in that groove too, where once you get that one win that was elusive, things seem to start happening your way.
And we had an instance like that with Donnie Leah, where Donnie Leah had won. All of a sudden, we started calling him Mr. August because every August race that we ran, he won 4 in a row. So Leah also had the same type of thing. And now Ron Silk, who could not win here, has won 3 of the last 4, and he is dominating this event right now today.
You know, I was watching the last event on Flo, the race where he won in tribute to Eddie Partridge, and you know, seeing Ron Silk, who's traditionally not a person who shows a ton of emotion, be able to get out of that race car, and I believe you were the person that was doing the interview. Do we have a caution? No, but we do have an issue.
Tyler Catanato.
Yeah, just to see him and just so much jubilation getting out of the race car on that particular day. Caution flag comes out. Catalano will rejoin the field, but this could reshuffle the deck.
Yeah, Trevor Catalano with a right front flat tire. He got underneath Matthew Brody, made contact with Brody, and the tire instantly went flat.
So there's Catalano again battling a flat tire, second one. And Steve, is this is my first time at Riverhead Raceway. Is are flat tires common here with the abrasive surface and the very tight corners? We've seen 2.
Not terrible, but the way they're having to pass each other here today, there's a lot of guys going under and using each other up, so there's a lot of contact. But as you can see, everybody's up on pit road, and they're ready. There's going to be some wholesale changes. There'll be a reshuffling of the deck, and we'll see how this is going to shake out. 113 laps down, 114 this time by, and Ronnie Silk was enjoying a tremendous lead. That's all gone now in car number 16.
I think it's a great place for the caution flag to fly. It really can reset, and it's going to be interesting to see anything for Ron Silk. He got on the outside. He's been the only driver inside the top 10 that has been able to pass on the outside, and now a consistent inside line beginning to form, led by Ron Silk, followed by Bonsignore. Will they fake out up in front?
I think they're going to pit. Because the way we've run here, that was a long green flag run. And I don't know if they want a chance not coming in and getting that one tire.
And again, the rule is 1 tire per caution. And it will be 1. And we'll see how it plays out here in just a couple of minutes. Austin Beers trapped on the high side now. Oh, now here comes Ron Silk.
They're going to come in. They get 1 tire for this race, so they'll make that 1 tire change and any kind of adjustment that they think they should make.
We are in the middle of pit stops, and with all of the action, let's go pit side to Jacqueline Drake.
Quite a few competitors took the option to come into pit road. Justin Bonsignore standing right by his pits. First out, just got a right rear tire, followed by the number 16 Ron Silk, also a right rear, and the number 60 of Matt Hirschman. The rest will follow. Keep in mind, too, here at Riverhead, they can gain and lose positions here on pit road, which makes this extremely vital for the pit crew members that they have with them here today.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Great job from pit road as we continue to watch these drivers make their way around the racetrack as Justin Bonsignore came out position number 1. And what if they made the adjustment that's going to turn the 51 into the 16? Could be a tale of 2 races. Would be the first time that we've seen that. They're looking to, you know, it's, again, Cadillac problems for Justin Bonsignore. He's obviously a 4-time champion. He's run well. He was number 3 in the point standings coming into this afternoon's event. Great season by most standards. But when you look at the totality of the season, there seems to be a little something missing for Justin. Talked to him a little bit about it this morning, and he said, you know, it's just circumstance. Things are going to happen. We had a ton of things fall our way at the end of 2024 where we could not do any wrong. And I've been around this game long enough to know that there's going to be a flip on that, and this just may be the flip. He hasn't had the best luck in the last couple of races.
And with this event, with this pit stop, Bonsignore's crew get him out front. The question now remains, can Justin Bonsignore hold off Ron Silk and Matt Hirschman? Whelen Engineering lights off on the pace truck and the lights off around the raceway. We're about to get back at it.
It's the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour's Miller Lite Salute Steve Park 200, the 76th event at Riverhead Raceway, back under green and 3 wide for the lead off of turn number 2.
Number 60 makes a bold move to the inside. He'll come to the race lead. Could Ron Silk have a problem?
I think he just spun the tires coming off of turn number 2, and that is how tight this field is. You miss one corner, you might miss a half dozen spots, and he's trapped behind Craig Lutz as they enter turn number 1. It's all Hirschman, but now chasing him down, it's Bonsignore with Patrick Emmerling coming out of nowhere. Car number 1 rides in third. Caution is out.
Caution flag down. As John Michael Chenette, car number 8, goes around in turn number 2. What a restart for Big Money Matt Hirschman.
And one thing that caution flag did is put a lot of drivers back on the lead lap. So you have the top 11, including Austin Beers, who's trying to keep the streak going of completing every single lap this year. He rides in position number 11. A couple of the regulars having great runs. How about give a call to Dylan Slepian and Roger Turbish, both drivers inside the top 10.
They've both taken their time here today. They've taken what's been given. If Dylan Slepian had a car come behind him that was better than him, he just got out of his way and let him go and stayed in line and ran patiently here so far, as has Roger Turbish. Yes. Both of these teams run here on a regular basis on Saturday. They're already 75 laps further into that, but both drivers have done a great job to maintain a run here in the top 10 more than halfway through this event.
You know, one of the interesting things that you and I were talking about off mic is the regulars of Riverhead that run here, and being used to running shorter distances, They actually bucked the trend. They were solid in that long run, so they survived the one long run of the race. Really, if this race stays green for the rest of it, it would be 70 some odd laps. That's well within the realm of a regular race. It's not much longer than they normally run, so I wouldn't be a bit surprised to see some of these guys break inside the top 10. Winning a NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour event is not unprecedented for a local Riverhead regular.
Nope, Kyle Soper has done it most recently, but before him, it was Ed Brunhunzel Jr. in 1987.
Wow.
So, yeah, and you've had Riverhead drivers that become tour drivers that win, not Riverhead regulars. But Kyle Soper was the last one to do it in Wayne Anderson's number 15. And before him, it was Ed Brunhunzel Jr.
Miller Lite saluting Steve Park here this afternoon. It was great to see Steve give command and you speaking to him and him just walking around and really just soaking his legacy in and everything. You never realize what you're accomplishing in the moment. And I don't think fans do either, as now the pits are open. Here we go again. It's great to see someone really identify with their legacy right in front of your eyes, and that's what we've seen with Steve Park this afternoon, this entire weekend, really.
And right now, let's head to the pit area with Jacqueline Drake.
Not what the number 16 of Ron Silk wanted in that last restart. I just confirmed with his team, who said the car was way too tight once they put on that tire. It's not what he wanted, and it made him not fire off the way the 16 anticipated. He's going to roll out, though, in the second position out of pit road, followed by the number 51 and the one of Patrick Emmerling gaining position here.
Thank you, Jacqueline, and it is shades of 2024. You have the 51, the 16, the 1. These were the three titans of the 2024 campaign. It was a two-horse race until the middle of last year, and that's where Patrick Emmerling came in. At the time, it was a first-year team. The Fleetworks Incorporated car really came alive, winning the Whelen Granite State. At the time, it was the Granite State Short Track Cup and all of the extra money that goes along with that. The Whelen Short Track Cup got its start at Seekonk, the most recent time out. You know, Steve, looking ahead on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour schedule, they're going to double up at Monadnock due to one of these rainouts coming up July 19th and 20th. It's a JDV production. And someone is going to walk in on a Saturday morning and then walk out on a Sunday night a lot richer because of the three-race series and the tens of thousands of dollars. I believe it's $20,000 in extra bonus money. That's on top of what Whelan's already doing for their 40th anniversary. But the Whelen Short Track Cup, 3 races, 1 at Seekonk and 2 at Monadnock Speedway.
It's going to be a great program. Can't wait to see how it all shakes out. July 19th and the 20th. Now, here's all the drivers taking the wave around, getting their lap back, or getting a lap back.
Kopsik's one of those. And, hey, what about Trevor Catalano being a survivor? Trevor in car number 56 has joined that fray as well. And now it is Justin Bonsignore, tied with Mike Iwanitzko with 11 wins at Riverhead in his backyard. Grew up watching Mike. Wanted so badly to beat him in the tribute race to show him that he has 12, Mike has 11. That didn't quite work out that way. Ronnie Silk had other plans, and the Silk train continues, leading the majority of this race. Now on the outside of row number 1, they'll restart this time.
135 laps down as they come to the line. Better start this time for Ron Silk. Bonsignore leads him out of turn number 2, but Silk shuffles into second. Here comes Emmerling to the bottom as he'll come to the 3rd spot.
One thing that Justin did last time that I hadn't seen many other drivers do, and that is start low in turn number 4, lower than everybody else. He possibly got a little grip off of turn number 4, coming to the green, and that allowed him to get the full car length advantage because Silk now in high. Looked like Ripkema just lost it through turns 1 and 2, and the nightmare season continues for Old Blue number 3. They've had speed, they have just not had the results to back it up. and he closes in behind Tyler Berry in car number 59.
What is good for Ripkema here is by the time we get back to green, there'll still be 60 laps remaining. And if anyone could come through this field, it's that car and that driver, and Tyler Ripkema in old blue.
Here comes the replay on this one for those who are watching on Flow as they go into turn number 1. Looks like, yeah, there was some contact there with Austin Beers right in the middle of it. And we'll zero in once again going into turn 1. Yeah, there was definitely those two drivers coming together into the corner.
Leading up to that, coming out of turn 4, Ripkema and Beers made contact prior to going down into turn number 1. They had made contact at the exit of turn 4, and Beers was sideways here on the front straightaway as Ripkema went by him. And then they made contact again going into turn number 1.
It's one of the amazing things that we have here at Riverhead is, we have a great view of the entire racetrack, which isn't all that large, but for a small racetrack, they pack so much action into this place. There could be 4 or 5 different battles happening worth watching. Fans, whether they're watching on Flow or in person, are getting their money's worth this afternoon. So Luke Baldwin, who's had a pretty quiet event in car number 7, right behind Ripkema. Now Matt Hirschman pulling off of pit road as well. Kyle Bonsignore. There are a few drivers who are definitely comers and goers today, and Hirschman will be the biggest dog out of that, making the power move to the top spot earlier, riding right up in front, but now still plenty of time, though. He's 59 laps to go, probably about 54 or 55 when we finally get back to green. It's still plenty of time for Matt Hirschman to charge the field, and it wouldn't be unprecedented to watch that number 60. To your point, Steve, Hirschman hasn't had the best relationship with Riverhead, but he certainly seemed to smooth it out over the past couple of years as it looks like we await a replay. And Luke Baldwin tried to get off of pit road a lot quicker than he did and was not able to as Ripkema was throwing the block, not intentionally, but still prevented the number 7 from getting out there as quick as he wanted to. Let's send it down trackside to Jacqueline Drake, who has an update on Matt Hirschman.
Matt Hirschman, one of the few cars to come down pit road at that time around. Just checked in with his team. I said, how's the car feel for him? What's he saying on the radio? And they said, it's a good car. We're holding off. Let's see what else is in store for that 60. Kid Matt Hirschman get another win after coming off of the Seekonk momentum.
Thank you, Jacqueline. That is great news for Hirschman fans. They love the race car, and there's nothing better than a confident race car driver. And it's Matt Hirschman. He's not blowing smoke. He's not just pumping up his crew, and he's not Mr. Rah-Rah. When he says he has a great race car and he's comfortable in it, that's bad news for the rest of the field.
And Hirschman will restart here from the 8th starting spot. And Justin Bonsignore and Ron Silk will make up row number 1. Emmerling to 3rd. Tommy Catalano with a great run sits in 4th.
Some of the young son heroes in this race are Luke Baldwin in the number 7. Now, we pointed out Luke had a hard time getting back onto the racetrack due to Tyler Ripkema's pit placement. Those two have not been able to shake each other all afternoon, and it's been interesting to watch some of the old iconic paint schemes of the race cars going after each other, like Luke and Tyler, and they'll start side by side in row number 5. All attention in turn number 3. Lights out of the pace truck, Justin Bonsignore and Ronnie Silk, and we are back under green.
Great restart for Justin Bonsignore. Silk way up the hill, and here comes Patrick Emmerling. We have contact on the front stretch. Car number 59 in trouble here.
Tyler Berry will bring out the yellow, and we will slow her down. And again, after a long green flag run, it's a completely different race with short 5-lap sprints for these drivers, which keeps the tires fresh.
They need to get back in that rhythm, though. Little give and take here. Didn't see what happened to
great runs here. A young driver trying to find his way in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. Had a career day last time out at Seekonk, and was looking like, this might be a place for him to continue that upward trajectory. Did not practice well, missed it in qualifying, and has been mired at the back all day. But again, it's one of those teaching days when you don't have the race car that you're accustomed to having, and you can get accustomed to a fast race car very quick, and all of a sudden the land of diminishing returns becomes your best finish. For example, if you were running fifth and you were ecstatic about that fifth place, and then you start running well and you expect the fifth place position, and then you don't get it. Well, expectations breed resentment, and then all of a sudden fifth doesn't feel so hot. And that's a good problem to have. Talking to Kyle Bonsignore this morning, he said the same thing. He said, if we were, nailing down fifth place a year ago, the race team was we weren't having the results with the race team. And if we would have got a fifth place car on the speed chart, I would have been ecstatic. And now it's like, well, we're just fifth. We kind of belong. We just need to close out that deal. And finally having some good luck on his side last time out at Seekonk. Kyle Bonsignore having a solid run, too. Having the kind of run that, we still have plenty of time in this race. He could easily walk away with the top 5 before this is all said and done.
So Bonsignore has to love that the laps are clicking off here and giving Ronnie Silk less time to work on passing him. You're 151 laps in. Bonsignore, everything that gets short like this is more to their advantage, because earlier in the event, Ron Silk's car got better as the run went on. So right now, does Justin Bonsignore have enough to hold off Ronnie Silk and take down win number 12?
It's well within the boundary, but watch the 51 of Bonsignore on this start. I want to see if he goes in the same place that he did in the previous restart, where he doesn't stay on the traditional racing surface. And again, it's not out of bounds, but he might have found something that other drivers haven't. And that is extra grip coming off of turn number 4. He'll go below the lip, and he'll wind up with about a car length lead if history serves correct. And there he goes. Other drivers have found it too. Green flag is out. We're back underway.
Great restart for Justin Bonsignore that time. Here comes Ronnie Silk to second. Emmerling about to feel the heat to the outside from Tommy Catalano. Silk, though, right on the back bumper of Bonsignore.
Don't count out Austin Beers, the driver who leads the point standings and has completed every single lap this year. Now coming to the top 5 for the first time this afternoon.
It had been a rough start to the event for Austin Beers, and here he comes now. Beers to the 4th spot to the inside of Tommy Catalano.
Beers perseveres off of turn number 4, turning the nightmare start into a top 5 run with Catalano on the outside, and the guy who really loves his race car playing patient, that's Matt Hirschman, but he cannot be patient for much longer. Laps are clicking off, 44 to go last time by.
Justin Bonsignore continues to set the pace by about a car length over Ronnie Silk. Patrick Emmerling runs third. Up the hill goes Beers, and here comes Matt Hirschman.
Hirschman now knows it's go time. Oh, and there's contact in turn number 2. Beers hangs onto it. It's Riverhead. This is what happens here. Craig Lutz on the inside, and they're getting physical off of turn number 4.
Time is running out. 158 laps down. And now Ron Silk starts to reel in Justin Bonsignore.
And talking with Patrick Emmerling this morning, he knows where he's at and where his race team is at in regards to the pecking order at Riverhead Raceway. He said, I'm about a 3rd place race car. It's really up to the 51 and 16, and if I can get a piece of that, I'm going to have a good day. What I really need is those guys. Oh, trouble on the front straightaway. Tyler Ripkema involved again. As everybody scatters to get around him, we stay green. But back to Patrick Emmerling, he said if the 2 drivers ahead of him, in this case Justin and Ron, get into it, we need to be close enough to capitalize on that. And if we can capitalize on their miscue or their drama, then I'm going to wind up a winner. And right now, the 1 is the only driver that can stay with those top 2 as they enter turn number 3.
Right now, he's about 2 car lengths back, but Bonsignore continues to set the pace. 164 laps into this 200-lap event. But Ronnie Silk lurks. In the 2nd spot, Patrick Emmerling runs 3rd. Matt Hirschman's now come to 4th. Craig Lutz is 5th. 6th is Kyle Bonsignore. 7th, Tommy Catalano. 8th, Austin Beers. 9th is Luke Baldwin, and 10th is Eric Goodale.
Eric Goodale having a very solid run here as one of the 40 all-time Whelen Modified Tour drivers. One driver with he's a little out of shape off of turn number 2. That is car number 8, John Michael Chanette. We stay green. Meanwhile, you mentioned Ronnie Silk closing in on Justin Bonsignore.
168 laps down. Ron Silk now to the back bumper of Bonsignore. Starting to look to the inside. Remember, last time he passed Bonsignore, it was to the outside.
Back in the years where Bonsignore dominated this racetrack, Andrew was his spotter, and now he's also Ronnie Silk's spotter. So advantage to Ron Silk because Andrew had all of those years with Justin, so he knows the ins and outs of what makes that driver tick. And now his closest rival has him in his ear. Ronnie Silk can stalk Justin, kind of being a half step of him, and I think that might be the X factor in this season's long rivalry. Because look out, it's a 3-car race. Here comes car number 1 of Patrick Emmerling.
28 laps to go, and Silk is on the rear deck lid of Justin Bonsignore. But here comes Emmerling to join the party, and here comes Matt Hirschman as well.
Matt Hirschman may be the dark horse in the story that we're talking about in about 5 minutes when there's only 10 laps left in this race. That's how quickly they can turn these laps off. It continues to be Justin Bonsignore, who not only is chasing down history, but trying to scrape his way back into the point lead and go after that 5th title. He's already in amazing company by picking up title number 4 last year. And he's had a decent season. Oh, as he backs it up in turn number 2. And Patrick Emmerling is wasting 0 time on the inside. Car number 1 comes to play down low.
Those two battling have allowed Matt Hirschman to catch the group as well, as Justin Bonsignore pulls away by about a car length.
There was contact between Emmerling and Silk last time going into turn number 1, and I watched Emmerling lock up his front tires. He was trying to stay out of Silk. That would have been a racing incident. He was doing everything he could not to send him in turn number 1. So great sportsmanlike conduct with car number 1 and number 16 a couple of times ago, but that allows Matt Hirschman to really join the fray with heavy lap traffic ahead.
Justin Bonsignore goes around Ken Hagee. And does Silk have enough left? Oh, we got a problem at the exit of turn number 2.
Steven Kopsick turns it around and is now facing the wrong direction in car number 21. It has not been the afternoon that he has wanted. And the driver who came into this race as one of the hottest drivers in the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour and one of the great stories of 2025 has hit a speed bump. And it looks like we're going to have a replay for those watching on FloRacing as car number 21, Steven Kopsick, has battled all afternoon. But what happened here in turn number 2 as the laps wind down, just 20 circuits to go and a whole lot of racing still to come. And I was going to say the next 5 minutes, but you never know. We keep on having caution after caution. This could stretch out a good 15 or 20 minutes as you watch the field go through turns or come off of turn number 4. Kopsick will hit pit road. And here comes the replay on what happened with Steven Kopsick. You see him going into turn number 1 all by himself. Looks like he just lost the race car and spun around. Nice heads-up move by Eric Goodale, too. Goodale could have easily got into him and managed to stay out of that mess.
Yeah, here it is again. He just goes in the corner. I don't know if there was contact there with Goodale.
There are 2 people that know, and they are Eric Goodale and Steven Kopsick. They've had an interesting afternoon, and Goodale really leading by example here, doing a great job of staying out of that wreck, and his sons Mason and Wyatt becoming formidable racers on their own, racing the Bandoleros down at Charlotte, North Carolina, and having some wins.
They went to Charlotte. We got rained out there Tuesday night. My son also runs down there with them.
Shout out to your son. Who is your son? What's his name?
Yeah, Reed. Speedy Reedy.
Speedy Reedy.
Yep. Yeah. He's a 2-time champion here at Riverhead. And my other son, who's down there,
continue with that story for the live audience here, how about a salute to the man we're honoring this afternoon, the one and only, the great Steve Park, who's down here on the front straightaway. 16 NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour wins, multiple wins at the Cup Series level, wins at the top 3 NASCAR levels, and the storied Park name with an amazing chapter in Steve and all of his accomplishments. Miller Lite salutes Steve Park. How about a round of applause for Steve Park this afternoon?
And when I first talked to him about this, he said the same thing he said on. He said the same thing he said in opening ceremonies, that he thought. He goes, "Well, I'm not dead yet, so why are we going to honor me?" And
well, one of the budding stories is Patrick Emmerling, and Jacqueline Drake has an update on car number 1. Let's send it to her.
Yeah, Patrick Emmerling, who was running in that 3rd position and reeling in Ron Silk, even a little bit of contact there, said he took a sigh of relief when he saw that caution flag come out and be able to get this track position, hoping to be on the bottom lane, as he feels like he is quicker than the front 2 cars. Man, what a statement by the number 1, who had a rough start to the beginning of this race and to now be in contention for the win.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Amazing work from pit road and being on point with Patrick Emmerling, who, again, knows, and that's what I love about NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour racing. And even speaking with Luke Baldwin this afternoon about what's different between the truck series and racing the modified series. And he said, you know, these guys, you race for their respect. You cut them slack, they'll cut you slack. You don't necessarily get that in the truck series, which he's certainly flirted with, and he's learned from both worlds. But the same thing with Emmerling. Emmerling runs, of course, the Xfinity Series, and he's one of the top stars here in the Modified Tour. He knew that he could easily have gotten in the back of Ron Silk in turn number 2 and sent him up the hill, picked up a position, but he knew that would come back to him. And the cream always rising to the top. These 3 stars are going to be battling all summer, and for a season that, by most of their own admissions, hasn't even started. We are 5 events into the year, and everybody feels like the season's just starting because it's fall start after another fall start. I can't say enough about Patrick Emmerling really cutting Ronnie Silk some slack, because both will race for the win, and both will race for the win with a clear conscience, at least through the first 188 laps. Lord knows what's going to happen in the final 12, Steve.
when they hit the stripe, it'll be 189 down, 11 remain. They enter the restart zone.
And there goes Bonsignore again on the inside, getting that extra traction. Green flag is in the air, and now Emmerling goes side by side for second.
Here comes Ron Silk to the outside, but Patrick Emmerling challenges to the inside and tries to come to position number 2. Emmerling with a good run out of the exit of turn number 2. He'll try to take over that second spot. Bonsignore, they make slight contact up the hill. Emmerling to second. Here comes Matt Hirschman now.
And that is going to draw the ire of driver 16 down the back straightaway. 16 side by side with 60. It's Money Matt Hirschman on the inside. And now Hirschman trying to go to the podium with Craig Lutz in tow. 8 laps to go. Last time by, Justin Bonsignore. Now chasing down win number 12 at Riverhead Raceway, a track that has made him the driver that he is today, which is a 4-time NASCAR Whelen All-American Tour champion.
He's looking for his 12th career victory on the tour here at Riverhead Raceway, which will make him the all-time leader in wins for the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, surpassing Mike Ewaninsko. He's 5 laps away. Oh, we got a problem on the backstretch.
Big trouble. Lots of smoke. Hopsick involved. So is Catalano. And one driver facing the inside. Can't see from my vantage point. Look, that's car number 96.
Matthew Brody.
Tough break for Brody. He's had a really decent event. He's running between 10th and 15th for most of the place. And
yeah, he was up to 16th at that point.
And we're going to go to replay here momentarily because it was towards the back of the pack. We were watching the battle for the lead.
Chris Young, the sidebar into the rear tire, right front flat tire as well.
And here what happened towards the back of the pack. Luke Baldwin right in there, and they hopped Luke Baldwin. Tyler Ripkema involved again, and there goes the 96.
It was the 56 car right here. Catalano to the inside. They make contact. Ripkema goes 3 wide, and then they all get collected.
We've had a number of restarts in this one. Will this be the final restart? That is the question. And will we have our 5th different winner in 5 races? We started the season with Patrick Emmerling. Then we went to Thompson, and it was Ronnie Silk. Then Craig Lutz at North Wilkesboro, and most recently, back on the 1st of June, Matt Hirschman. And now in the Miller Lite Salute Steve Park 200, will we see the 5th straight winner, or different winner, to start the season? We are going to possibly go into overtime with this one.
Yeah, you're at 199 right now. And the way overtime works, unlimited green-white checkers to finish the race under green, not under caution.
Patrick Emmerling could be the spoiler this afternoon. Justin Bonsignore was thinking that he's just got to beat Ron Silk. And so far he has. But now he has to deal with Patrick Emmerling. And Emmerling knows his way to victory lane. He did it in 2013 at this racetrack.
If you saw Patrick Emmerling his first time at this place, you never would have thought he could ever win an event here. He almost knocked the wall down in turn 4, first lap.
So you got to love that story.
Then he did it again going into 1 and 2. Drifted up, he almost knocked the wall down again. He decided to slow down for a second, and he started following a couple of cars. And over the years, he's just progressively gotten better. But when he first got here, woo, was it scary.
Justin Bonsignore has gone this deep into a season without a victory before. Most recently, 2023. He went 5 races into the season, and he snapped the winless streak. Where was that? Right here at Riverhead. History could be repeating itself for car number 51. It was the last time he went this deep into the season without a win. And he has had a number of uncharacteristic things happen with his race car and with his race team over the last 6 weeks. And if you think the weather has been a bit screwy in New England, you would be correct, but so has Justin Bonsignore's season. It has been uncharacteristic. Do things smooth out here this afternoon? He's spun, he's collected cars, he's been in wrecks, and somehow he is 3rd in the point standings.
Well,
and as he looks for his 46th overall win on the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, we could be moments away from that. But there are drivers that want to play spoiler like Emmerling, and what about the car behind him?
Matt Hirschman has turned it on here in the last 50 laps, and he's come to the 3rd spot. If Emmerling and Bonsignore have any kind of contact, watch for Matt Hirschman to make the move to the lead like he did on that previous restart.
Steve, one thing we haven't seen, to the best of my knowledge, is Emmerling on the outside. He's made all of his moves down low. So up top, he's untested. And then you take the X factor of Matt Hirschman, who has made bold 3-wide moves on a start. He's starting in 3rd. The race is on the line. He knows you can get the extra grip in turn number 4.
Overtime is here. Green-white checkered finish. Green is in the air. Good restart for Bonsignore.
And Justin Bonsignore in the tire tracks. There's Matt Hirschman going down to the inside like a rocket down the back straightaway. It's Patrick Emmerling. Ronnie Silk right there. White flag out. 1 to go.
Can Bonsignore hold on here? He's down on the apron, holding the bottom. Hirschman about a car length back.
The all-time winner at Riverhead Speedway with his 12th victory is Justin Bonsignore. getting back into the points championship. What a moment on Father's Day where they celebrate together as a family right here at the racetrack. On Father's Day, let the moment soak in front of friends, in front of family, in front of neighbors. Justin Bonsignore. A special pause in turn number 2. Once a young man, cutting his teeth like so many have at Riverhead Raceway. Picked up his first win nearly 15 years ago, and now picks up win number 12. What an amazing career that is unfolding in front of your eyes. You are watching greatness in real time. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go trackside to Jacqueline Drake.
What an unbelievable final few laps right here at Riverhead Raceway with Justin Bonsignore taking the win in the feature event. He's going to grab a bottle of water and cool off after a wild finish and a green-white checkered at that. Victory lane is being set up here. All the 40th anniversary NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour items, and he'll receive the Victory Lane hat, all the hats that the drivers love to collect and keep. And out of the car he comes. Race fans, put your hands together for Justin Bonsignore. Justin, congratulations. Wow, you had pressure all from behind. His family right here with him on Father's Day. And the first time his youngest son, Grayson's, ever been to a race, and it was a good luck charm because not only did you become the fastest in practice, you also got the pole award, and then here in Victory Lane, how were you able to pull it off?
Pit stops. Pit crew did a great job, had 2 really good pit stops, and it was nice to beat Ron, and we ran each other really hard but really clean, and he's been so good here the last couple of years, and we've snuck a few in there, but it was nice to outrun him today, and you know, I got myself in trouble at Seekonk and caused a big wreck and tore up a lot of cars, and it was mainly because I wanted to show Matt Hirschman the respect he deserves, and you know what? I didn't have a good run there, but he definitely ran me really clean on the last lap there, so things work in a full circle, and I appreciate that. And I've been wanting to break this record for a long time. Mike was a childhood hero of mine. Another one here, I was in Steve Park's fan club when he was in the AC Delco Busch car back in the day, and to have my family here, it's the first race all of them have been to this year, and for it to be on Father's Day at home and everything we did, it's just it's really cool. So just want to thank Phoenix Communications, Clearcom IT Solutions, Robert Yates Engines for your race cars, M3 Technology, Ken Janine Massa, Brian Stone, and the entire pit crew. You know, they gave up their Father's Day to be here today, and it's always nice when you can get a win. And it's awesome that Taylor and the kids are here, and Evan might be tired. He missed nap time today, so just really cool. This is special. It's really special.
You've made your mark in the modified series. You just referenced Steve Park right here, who also a legend when it comes to this. Going to give him congratulations. What does it mean for you to leave your mark in this series and to become also a legend just like Steve?
Well, that's not for me to judge. That's when I'm done racing like Steve one day, that'll be the community's decision if it was me or not. But I just try to do the best I can and represent my sponsors and my team and my family the best I can. And these are just really, really hard to win. I don't care what anybody thinks. There might not be I'm not bashing him. That's just giving him credit for how good they've been here, and to outrun those guys is cool. So we had some good finishes to start the year, but not smooth races, and we finally put a smooth one today, and we win. So we just driver has to be smarter the rest of the year, and we'll hopefully get this summer stretch going strong. And we got Pocono next week with the Xfinity car, so we're excited. Hopefully I can keep some momentum going. It's been rough over there, and I'd like to have some smooth races.
Congratulations, Justin. Happy Father's Day to you and your family. We'll let you celebrate. Steve, I want to get a quick question to you. What did you think about those final few laps? And it could be anybody's game there in the green-white checkered.
Yeah, it's Riverhead Raceway, and Justin has done a great job here in the last few years. And like you said, Ronnie Silk, these guys put on one heck of a show. And the Riverhead regulars, they just do a fantastic job on the tour also. So again, he's humble. He's a new father on Father's Day. Got a chance to win the race, and he'll be in the record books. Him and his guys are doing a great job. And just look at the amount of races he's won already in his short career, and just getting an opportunity in NASCAR. So I'm one of his biggest fans.
I bet he loves to hear that. Thank you, Steve, for being here and for giving your thoughts on that. Now, race fans, we also have a new program. If you won the race, you get to draw out of our Hoosier Tire bucket, and the finishing position that you draw out of the bucket, that driver will be able to take home a full set of free tires. So we're going to bring the bucket over. Justin is enjoying the Riverhead cake, but we're going to need you to draw a number out of the bucket as the finishing order, the driver who's going to be able to take a free set of tires home. Out of the bucket, the driver who finished in the 20th position today, the booth will be able to confirm that. They will be taking home a free set of Hoosier tires. Absolutely, what a great gift that is. Thank you so much, Bob. And we'll send it back up to the booth before we talk to positions 2 and 3.
Thank you very much, Jacqueline. And the 20th place car today, John Michael Chenette in car number 8 will receive those 4 Hoosier tires. What a great program. And again, congratulations to Justin Bonsignore. Let's go down trackside to Jacqueline Drake with Matt Hirschman.
Finishing in second today, we had Matt Hirschman. Matt, that 60 chrome bumper was all over the back of the 51 of Justin, but he even alluded to you racing him clean. What was your thoughts in the final few laps in that final corner on just how hard you wanted to push it?
Well, I mean, I only got to him as a green-white checker finish, so just like Seekonk, I mean, if you want to steal a win, that's different than actually earning a win. And, we earned a good second-place finish here today. I mean, obviously, they were up front most of the race. Early, they were out of sight. Really happy with this whole elite towing team here, just to have a good run in a Whelen Tour race here. I've run in the Islip 300 has helped me a lot here. We've done that 3 years consecutively and won it once. And now I think we showed that we could win a Whelen Tour race here as well. So I'm happy with the team's performance, the car's performance, and I think we had a good race.
Spoken like a true veteran. Congratulations, Matt. One last thought?
And, of course, it's Father's Day today. I haven't even talked to my father yet. Hopefully I'll see him here yet tonight to wish him a happy Father's Day. And then, unlike Justin's lucky, this is his home track, so his little kids are here. Mine are at home. So hopefully I get to see them here yet before tonight's over. But happy Father's Day to everyone. And, like I said, just appreciate everybody coming out and all the effort.
Safe travels. I know you got a long road trip after this. That was the number 60 of Matt Hirschman, finishing in the second position. And we'll make our way over to the number 1 of Patrick Emmerling, rounding out the podium. What a day you had, Patrick. You had a tough go in the beginning of the race, but then making your way up. And we really thought you were going to see you at the front of this field. What more did you need, though, from that number 1?
Yeah, that was a really hard fought one. I mean, we got bounced around. We got pushed into the marbles earlier on, and we just lost so much track position, and we just fought hard. I mean, I held off the 16. He was ripping at the beginning and caught up to us, and man, I did everything to hold him off, gave him the runaround, all that stuff, and we were able to just barely stay on the lead lap, and we took our opportunity to pit, and we got our car good. I think we were the fastest car at the end, and we really, really hard fought. The whole number 1, Fleetworks number 1 team came back. We came back from that one, and that's what we do. And just shout out to everyone involved in this team. Rich Cotreau and Dal, the crew chief, and this whole team, my father. Happy Father's Day. I love you. And yeah, just a really hard-fought one. And also, I'd like to remember my latest car owner, Charlie Henderson, passed away yesterday. And I didn't know him long, but he left a really quite the impression on me, him and his family, and just looking forward to race with them again. And yeah, just a really hard-fought day. We had a really tough go of the last couple of races. We got in a few bad wrecks, and we were second, and I think we were the fastest car at the end. I think, based off we were teetering some quicker lap times right towards the end, and just starting on the, this is old school Riverhead. They weren't spraying, and this was old school how Riverhead used to be, and there was absolutely, the top was just really, really tough, and came back and made a solid run out of it, and we'll build it on from here, and we'll get them the next few.
Great job today, Patrick Emmerling. He rounds out the podium, finishing third today at Riverhead on a Sunday afternoon.
All right, thank you very much, Jacqueline. Great job from Pit Road here this afternoon, as we have had quite the event with Justin Bonsignore picking up his 46th career win, and he is now the all-time winner at Riverhead with 12 wins on his career. Matt Hirschman finishing in second, Patrick Emmerling in third, Ron Silk rounds out the top four. There's Craig Lutz as well. Kyle Bonsignore came across in sixth, Tommy Catalano in seventh, Austin Beers in eighth. Tyler Ripkema comes across with position number 9, followed by Luke Baldwin rounding out the top 10. Looking ahead to the NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour, we will be at White Mountain Motorsport Park coming up on June 28th, followed by Lancaster. That's a lot of fun, July 12th. Monadnock for the double. Back-to-back, Saturday and Sunday, July 19th and 20th. Thompson Speedway Motorsports Park, August 6th. Richmond, August 14th. Oswego Speedway on August 30th. The stretch, there have been so many drivers who have said, we really don't feel like our season started yet because we've had so many weather delays and whatnot, but the stretch really starting to hit here with NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour. It's been a pretty incredible afternoon, and it's not quite done yet. Miller Lite presenting the Steve Park tribute this afternoon. You can see the big celebration happening that continues with Justin Bonsignore and all of the different personalities here at Riverhead Raceway. Congratulations continue, and it's so special to not only win in front of your hometown fans, but to win in front of your budding family, and moments that the babies will never, ever remember, but the parents will never, ever forget, and they make for amazing life unfolding in front of your eyes moments that are going to be cherished memories as the years continue. It was a typical Riverhead race where we had some aggression. We had a long green flag run. We had a wild finish, and it was, at the end, one of the stars who had been here 11 times, picking up a victory in Justin Bonsignore. And we are in the short track stretch as we've gone from Seekonk to Riverhead to White Mountain, 3 different quarter-mile racetracks, all with different characteristics. And from this quarter-mile Riverhead Raceway, we'll wrap things up with Steve down in Victory Lane.
We thank everyone for coming out here tonight to Riverhead Raceway on a Father's Day Sunday. Unfortunate weather on Saturday. We appreciate that everyone came to close the night out here with us today. Congratulations to Justin Bonsignore, Ken Massa, and their entire race team on becoming the all-time leading winner here at Riverhead Raceway with his 12th feature event win on the Modified Tour. We thank you all for watching us on FloRacing. we say good night. Have a great day. Have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday night. Good night, Bob Finan.
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our fans for your support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.